Hello. Yeah, just did a session of meditation, and I wanted to share some thoughts uh, with you all today. So I was mainly concerned about one of the strongest emotions that we all have. Yeah, it can be considered like a negative emotion. It's the emotion of the fear. So we have a fear of many things, like fear of disease, fear of losing the loved ones, fear of separation, fear of job security, fear of what happens next, and fear of future, fear of the worrying of the past, and all that, right? So many of us will have this intense grip of the fear many times. Maybe we are in the hospital, maybe we are somewhere, we got stuck, we lost our phone and all that, right? We have a lot of panic moments. So how do we get out of this fear? And there's a lot of emotional trauma, the loss of energy. So what can we do to kind of conquer the fear or let go of the fear? If we are really free of the fear, then we have a lot of energy, positive energy within us that can be used in many creative ways, right? So like when we are like a child, we are really utterly fearless, but when we keep on growing up, we accumulate a lot of fears. So I was trying to find uh, through conversations or through own contemplation on different solutions, right? And one of the key things that came into the mind is like the association with our body, with ourselves very deeply causes the fear. Because we are associated with our body, we now relate to your family, we relate to ourselves so deeply, and we even though we have we learn the philosophy, we learn the saying in yoga that oh, you are actually connected to the god, you are not your body, you are a soul. But when suddenly something comes, attention, or you forget everything and you jump out of your seat and you start to worry and you run off. If you see the similar as a story of the rope versus a snake, in the darkness, when you see a rope and think that it is a snake, and suddenly you jump out and it causes you the fear because you identify the rope with a snake. But suddenly when you know that the rope is not a snake anymore, once the light comes, it's just a rope and all the fear is gone. So the same way again, when you are in a dream and then you got a nightmare, you suddenly fear, but you wake up out of the dream and the fear is gone. So essentially, the saying is like if you practice that you are not the body, if you are not you own the body and your body is experiencing all the pain and all. If you distance yourself, if you practice that distance, that can slowly and slowly you can get that practice so embedded into yourself that in the situation it might not cause you so much of trauma. So that is one solution to distance yourself from the identification. The other solution I saw, I found helpful, was especially in terms, it's kind of a let go or a surrender. And most of the times, like it happens in the time of crisis or helplessness, when you are overlapped, or when you are overcome with insurmountable difficulty and suffering, and suddenly you say I cannot, you come to a helplessness, and you are in a situation where you cannot do anything more from out of your physical personal efforts, so you just give up, and then you do let go, and just you fall on your knees and say, oh, you don't refer to anybody, you just let go to the nature and the surrounding, that this is, I'm so humbled the whole thing, and I just let go, and I cannot do anything more. So in that humility, in that humbleness, there is an emptiness created, and suddenly you get all this gush or rush of energy from the whole nature, and it suddenly gives you a renewed lease of life. So this new rush of energy, when you let go with a nice positive intent, that nature, or whoever it is, right? You just surrender and you say, I let go, and in that moment, in that emptiness, you feel a great benediction and blessing, and then you can use that positive energy to push out of all the negativity from you and all your fear. If you feel that positive energy, you can associate with it and use that energy to get a release of your fear. So with that sharing today, I thank you all, and hope we all get rid of our fear and be free. Okay, namaste, and